tailback behind the fullback there. And once again, the prep players are doing a nice job defending that ISO.
Official wants a timeout here for a moment. I think one of the Woodland Hills players limping off the field, but he's there now.
Yeah, Maurice Walker walked off the game there, so we'll have to keep our eye on him being off the field now.
Clock is resumed, and it's 2nd down and 9 for Woodland Hills as they come up over the ball at their own 37-yard line. 8.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Ramblers lead by 11, 20-9. Shante Spencer, the senior quarterback. And Neil Broadnax, the fullback, jumps before the snap of the football.
Once again, Gary, like you and I talked about, these mental mistakes that Woodland Hills make during the game. And once again, there's another sign of another bad mental mistake.
The 5-yard penalty places the ball at the Woodland Hills 32-yard line.
2nd down, 14 now, back at the 32. Hinkle has a touchdown, a 45-yard punt return. Lustig has a touchdown, a 5-yard catch from Eric Carlson. And then Carlson with that 1-yard sneak for the 3rd Rambler touchdown just moments ago. Spencer giving it to the running back, and he is going tough as he hits the middle of that prep defense. Fields is there again. Dupre, Jake Lynch, number 9, also off the bottom of the pile for the Ramblers. And the always present Charlie Rush around the football. Got it out to about the 35, Joe, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, once again, they were trying to run an ISO up inside there, and they had success with that a little earlier in the game. But right now, I think Prep buckled down on this with their strong people inside.
They ran the balls for 79 yards in that first half, which doesn't seem like much, but considering that they only had 47 yards passing, the Ramblers holding them to just over 100 yards. Spencer back to throw. Down the middle of the field, incomplete. A flag is thrown as number 24, Russell, was bumped. Check that, Raphael Smith was bumped as he was coming over the middle of the field, and I don't think, even if no one had touched him, was that ball catchable. It was well overthrown, but fortunately for Woodland Hills, they received a break on that one, Joe, because that ball was not catchable, and Smith just happened to bump into one of the Ramblers in the defensive secondary.
Yeah, Walker from Prep stepped up there and made a hit on the young man, and didn't really have to because it was an overthrown ball here. And it might be one of those sophomore mistakes here, but you can see Juwan Walker just stepped up there, believing the kid was going to catch the ball, I think, and it was well overthrown.
The ball was at least 10 yards overthrown, no question about it. They mark it at midfield now, and it gives Woodland Hills new life offensively. 1st and 10. Here's Walker, and he is pounded back. And it is Jake Lynch, number 9, doing his business on Maurice Walker. I mean, you've got Maurice Walker, pretty little guy in there at 5'7", 160 pounds, and hitting Jake Lynch like hitting a brick wall, Joe Tarasovich.
Well, once again, they were running a counter tray, and Jake Lynch just played a heck of a play reading his lineman, and he stuck right up in there and filled the gap, and it was just a heck of a play by this linebacker.
Boom. It was not going anywhere.
No, he isn't.
Jake Lynch with the tackle. They actually marked his forward progress at the 50, so no gain officially on that carry by Maurice Walker. 2nd down and 10. And Spencer pulls out too early, flag down. He did that 3 or 4 times. If any of our viewing audience saw the Whippeal Championship game last week against McKeesport, it's like he forgets the count because nobody else moves.
No, you're right, Gary. It's something you don't expect from a senior quarterback and a kid that's being recruited by a lot of Division I schools. It's a mental mistake for that young man.
Illegal procedure charged against.
And that's about the 4th or 5th illegal procedure or
false start here.
Motion penalty called against Woodland Hills offensively here. They have hurt themselves. Prep definitely with the edge in penalties.
2nd and 15.
In terms of committing fewer of them than Woodland Hills. 2nd down and 15 now at the back at the 45-yard line. Again out of the I formation. Spencer wants to throw, flings it out. This time has a man over the middle. It is number 24, Raphael Smith. And Smith is bounced down at the 35-yard line, but that's good enough for a 1st down.
Smith fumbled that football, and Woodland Hills was very lucky to get that thing back
I
there.
wasn't sure whether he coughed it up or not, but they jumped on it at the 35, and Well, let's take a look at it. Raphael Smith, nice catch, but nearly lost it in the prep secondary.
Little table route. The inside guy comes on an in route, and the outside guy's going to run out.
There it is,
go.
popping up in the air. And it pops right over to his counterpart, Jason Russell, the other wide receiver. So at the 35-yard line, Woodland Hills 1st and 10. And here's Spencer. Giving it up the middle at the 20, all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Once again, Gary, it's the counter tray run that's been hurting us here. And once again, George Novak goes right back to it. And, of course, it's a 20-yard run, I think it is.
That's Curtis Hall, who breaks it from his 30, or from the prep 35, all the way down to the 17-yard line. So a gain of 18 yards for Curtis Hall on that carry. And it's 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line for Woodland Hills. 5.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Close to nail-biting time here in this Western final. Here's the give to Hall again. Great run as he slips through tackles, gets inside the 15, only gains about 3 yards, but it was a spectacular 3 yards by Hall, who's spelling Maurice Walker at that tailback position at the moment, giving them sort of a different look from that tailback position.
Parsons had a great opportunity to make a play there, and of course it was, like you said, an exceptional run by the running back from Woodland Hills there. We're going to need a big play to stop him here.
Anytime that Cathedral Prep has scored in this game, Woodland Hills has answered. Prep scored first, Woodland Hills came down, kicked a field goal. Prep scored to make it 14-3, Woodland Hills made it 14-9. Prep has scored, now Woodland Hills up the middle, scores again. Maurice Walker bolts up the middle for the 14-yard touchdown run.
Gary, the exact same play they had the big run on 2 plays ago is the same thing. It's a counter tray. Once again, the fullback's filling for the right guard and tackle, and they're leading the play off to the left-hand side.
Here's Walker up the middle, Joe, and he got the blocks and kind of worked his way through the middle, and nobody was there in the middle. Sanders couldn't catch him, and it's a touchdown for Maurice Walker. So with 4:47 remaining here in the third quarter, it's now a 20-15 game, and it looks like Shante Spencer and the offense is going to go for 2.
Yeah, it's a good decision here to put him down by a field goal if they would get the 2. So it's one of those, decisions that a coach has to make, and it's a good decision by George Novak.
Single setback. Spencer rolls to his right, wants to throw, fires for the end zone. It's intercepted by Ed Hinkle, and Hinkle is whistled as he runs it out. No good on the 2-point conversion. 4:47 to go. Woodland Hills is close again as the Ramblers lead cut to 5. We'll be right back.
Yaples Vacuum and Sewing Center introduces the Central Vacuum System from Hoover. Now you can get the ultimate in cleaning power to keep your home healthier, especially for the allergy sufferer. With a Hoover Central Vacuum System, just plug the lightweight attachment hose into any vacuum inlet and safely whisk dirt and germs away to the central unit. Quickly, quietly, conveniently. Come in today and learn more about the Hoover Central Vacuum System.
Yaples Vacuum and Sewing Center, 'cause our business is picking up.
And now it's time to get the Auto Express Hunters Update with your host, Hunter Joe and Rudolph.
Welcome. Say, Rudolph, let's take a look at some of these tough Auto Express 4x4s. There's a nice one. Bet we can get your whole family in that one, huh? Let's take a peek at this week's Auto Express hunting tip.
Remember, hunters, don't tie your game to the roof of your truck. It makes fellow hunters jealous, and it isn't very funny either. This hunting tip is brought to you by Auto Express.
Back here live at Spartan Stadium, we've got a dandy of a football game. The Ramblers now lead by a 20-15 score. Their lead cut to 5 points, and Woodland Hills will be kicking off from the 40-yard line. Woodland Hills, as you see on the attempted 2-point conversion, Joe, nice job Ed Hinkle stepping in front of the receiver, or it would have been a 3-point Cathedral Prep lead. They kept it at 5, and the Woodland Hills fans getting fired up now. Another low kick. Morgan's going to watch it bounce. It's finally picked up by Hinkle. Hinkle coming up the middle at the 30. There he goes, 35, 40, midfield, still on his feet. The guy's unbelievable.
Yes, he is. You know, that was all himself doing that right there because of the way the ball was kicked. I don't think we had the opportunity to set up our return blocking, and of course Hinkle picked it up there, and he does a lot of things on his own with that play.
He is Mr. Everything, whether he's holding for extra points, wide receiving, returning punts. Now Morgan has to go back and almost runs into Hinkle. Hinkle decides to take the initiative, and it's a good thing. Just look at these moves. There's 1 tackle miss, 2 tackles miss, slips by here. Going to get another tackle mix before he's finally bring him down. Carlson back to throw, down the middle, tipped and intercepted.
Gary, those are the things I was trying to say we got to stay away from, are those turnovers here. And, of course, now the momentum's really shifted to Woodland Hills. Our defense has to come up big now.
It's number 55, Charles Cannon, a 5'10", 225-pound senior. Woodland Hills, we mentioned this, has been a second-half team throughout their season. In many games, they have either been tied or trailed at halftime. And in this one, they trailed 14-9 at half. But after Prep scored on its first possession of the second half, Woodland Hills came right down the score as the field and counterpunch. And here they get it back on the interception, Joe.
We've got to stop their running game now. They've had a lot of success with the running game. We've got to slow their game down now.
That is Maurice Walker once again out of the tailback position. And this time he is slowed down as they piled him up near the 25-yard line for no gain on the play. That's Joe Dupre. And number 27, Mike Cray, in on the tackle. Coming off the bottom of the pile is 13, Josh Lustig.
Once again, Woodland Hills coming back to the counter, Trey, and they're flopping their lineman now. Number 77 is one of their big poolers for them. So that might be a big help for us if we can find him.
4 minutes, 5 seconds remaining, third quarter. Woodland Hills trailing the Ramblers 20-15. They have the ball second down. We'll call it a long 9 at about the 31-yard line. Shante Spencer with a long count, play action, pressure, they blitzed, and down he goes. Josh Lustig was in on the blitz, number 13 from the corner. He and Mike Cray sandwich Spencer, and it's a big sack for a loss back at the 25-yard line.
Once again, the confidence Mike Mishler and the defensive staff of Cathedral Prep showing with their defensive backs. They're blitzing, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Chauncey Spencer, but those three defensive backs are running with some quality receivers out there, and they're doing a great job on coverage also.
Yeah, they decided not to disguise anything in this game. They were going to play these talented Woodland Hills receivers one-on-one and blitz some people and try to wreak some havoc on Shante Spencer, which they have done. 3rd and 15 now following the sack. Spencer hit as he throws, downfield, incomplete. It was well overthrown. Spencer now down on the ground. He was drilled as he hit threw the football, was hit hard. I don't know whether it was Fields or Dupre or one of those linebackers coming up the middle. Really nailed Shante Spencer, and as you see, he's a little winded as he comes off towards the Woodland Hills sidelines.
Well, our defense deserves a big pat on the back. They've, got us out of that bind we put ourselves in with the interception, and they've done their job. Now we have to come back offensively and get back to work.
Henkel now back to receive the punt near his own 40. That incomplete pass stopped things here with 3:01 remaining in the third quarter. Ramblers lead by 5, putting some pressure from the corner. Wobbly kick. You see it'll hit short and then bounce into the Woodland Hills bench, and they mark it out at the 42-yard line. And so Prep will have decent field position at their own 42 to start this one with 2 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Glad you could join us here on Channel 35 for our exclusive coverage of the PIAA Western Finals. And of course, the winner of this game will move on against probably in most favor Central Bucks West on the eastern part of the state. They're number 1 in the state. Like the Ramblers, they are ranked in the nation by USA Today. And either one of these teams will have their hands full. There's a man moving off sides up at the top of your screen. Let's see if the Woodland Hills player will be whistled for offsides or if he was enticed to do so by one of the Ramblers. It's going to be against Garrett Mays for illegal motion, costing Cathedral Prep 5 yards.
See, Gary, I don't like that call. I think right now that Mays could have gone in motion there, and that no reason for that defender to step across like that. So once again, I think it might have been one of those calls that they're going to help Woodland Hills just maybe calm them down because they're getting pretty riled up right now.
Yes, they are. They're getting fired up, probably as emotional as they have been in this game. 2:53 remaining, third quarter. Here's Carlson under center. First down and 15 following the 5-yard penalty. Carlson on the blitz is sacked.
Gary, I believe that was supposed to be a draw. And, of course, they had too much penetration for the handoff. And maybe Carlson made the right decision there to hang on to that football.
Instead of perhaps fumbling it away. Look at it again. The man was in the backfield right away. Yeah, you're right. And Sanders is turning around as if to say, well, you're supposed to hand me the football.
Right, I think Carlson made the right decision there. If he would have handed that ball off or attempted it, we might have had a fumble.
So the Spartans, or I should say the Wolverines, forcing the action here as Sanders breaks free at the 40. And that's as far as he will get before he's finally tackled by the defensive back on that side.
Gary, that's the first time today that I can recall that we were in an I formation here with a fullback tailback combination, and Sanders did a nice job getting some yardage there. So maybe right now Mike's going to go to a different offensive formation set here.
3rd down and 12 following the gain by Sanders. They need to get to about the 48-yard line of Woodland Hills to pick up the first down. And here's the give to Sanders. And Sanders, bruising his way ahead, is short of the first down as he runs it out to about the 48. And so it'll be 4th down and 3 for the Ramblers, and they'll be forced to go back into punt formation.
Well, once again, Mike went to that I formation. They blocked down, kicked out with the fullback, and brought the backside guard. And once again, it was a successful run for Sanders now. I think Michael's going to want to remember that those plays.
Hinkle is the punter. And it is number 22, Jason Russell Deep. If I'm not mistaken, he returned one quite well in that Whippeal game against McKeesport. Nearly blocked. Hinkle's able to get it away, and it is going to bounce at the 30 and roll dead at the 27-yard line. 58 seconds, all that remains here of the 3rd quarter. Prep is hanging on to a 20-15 lead, but they've got to give the ball back to Woodland Hills now. And so far, you know, it seems like when Prep has been able to punch one in, they just cannot come around and immediately stop Woodland Hills. Every Woodland Hills score, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, have come on the next possession following the 3 scores by Prep.
Right now, our defense, once again, they're going to have to stand up tall and see if we can stop them again. Once again, it's all man-to-man for Cathedral Prep.
And a turnover would be nice. Woodland Hills is going to take a timeout. So why don't we take a 30-second break? The PIAA Western Finals with the Ramblers in the lead by 5.
Raise your hand if you could use some extra money. How would you like a new home or remodel a nursery? Well, all you need is a loan. Wait, it's easier at Marquette Savings Bank. The application is simple, approval fast, and our loan specialists are friendly and fair. Anybody for a little extra money? Marquette Savings Bank, your hometown bank with a hometown touch. Marquette Savings Bank, member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
58 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Glad you could join us. I'm Gary Drapcho with the Fort LaBeouf head coach Joe Tarasovich, former boss at Central. And in these games, I mean, you know what it's like to kind of get that dry mouth feeling in the 4th quarter. We're almost there. 58 seconds ticks of the clock left here in the 3rd quarter. And the Ramblers could use a turnover right here.
No doubt about it. We could really use a turnover to get the momentum back in our favor.
Here's Shante Spencer. It is 1st and 10 as they begin this offensive series at their own 27-yard line. And here comes Maurice Walker at the 50. Here comes Maurice Walker at the 40, at the 30-yard line. Maurice Walker all the way down to the 30 of Cathedral Prep.
Once again, Gary, it was an ISO play. Once again, it's tough to find out where our linebackers were on the play, but he made a great run. But he took a very good hit by number 4 from Cathedral Prep. Jason Easter delivered a great play on the blow there.
Take a look at it. He just kind of gets lost among all those big guys. He's only 5'7", and then puts a couple of good moves on as he makes his way into the secondary.
And Gary, you know, I alluded to this earlier in the game. I think that's why they're so successful. They're so small running behind a big line. You kind of lose them in there.
That was a nice tackle by Jason Easter. Here comes Hall, big hole off the right side, and Curtis Hall is inside the 25 and down to the 24-yard line.
Curtis Hall.
That's another gain of about 7, and I don't think, and we've seen teams like Tony Johnson of State College run on Cathedral Prep as well as Woodland Hills. Final seconds ticking off here in the 3rd quarter, down to 5 seconds. Let's see if Woodland Hills is able to get another playoff. They'll have to hurry to do so. I don't think it's going to happen. 3rd quarter history. Prep will have a 5-point lead heading into the final 12 minutes. A trip to Hershey on the line, and we'll be back to give it to you live in just a moment.
do echoes carry so well? Because they're designed from the inside out.
No busy signals, no toll charges, and no broken windows.
Sign up for free high-speed DSL services and receive a free modem and free installation. Call ErieNet today.
Gary Drapcho and Joe Tarasovich ready to bring you the final 12 minutes of the PIAA Western Finals. And Cathedral Prep, which has never trailed in this game, lead by 5, 20-15. But Woodland Hills here with a 2nd down and 2 at the Cathedral Prep 24-yard line. And the give is to Hall. This time not much running room. Jake Lynch stacks it up over there. And there's a number of other Ramblers in the all-white uniforms tonight.
I don't think George Novak wants Walker on the sidelines too long. He came out after that long run with an injury here. Hall's done a nice job replacing him there. They ran counter tray again, but here comes Walker onto the field.
Walker is number 23. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard and a half or so at the 23-yard line. First minute of play here, 4th and final period. Ramblers have led by scores of 7-0, 7-3, 14-3, 14-9, 20-9, and now 20-15. 3rd and 1. Spencer with that I formation set behind him. Takes the snap and gives it to Maurice Walker, and he's stacked up in the backfield for what appears to be a loss at the 25-yard line. He certainly did not get the first down.
No, once again, Woodland Hills goes their bread and butter, the counter tray, and this time Prep defense very well.
Joe Dupre and Charlie Rush, the main culprits in on that play to stop it cold. And we've got 4th down. He lost a yard and a half, so 4th and about 3. Here it is again. Rush hit him first. Dupre finished him off. 4th down, and we'll call it a long 2. Just inside the 25-yard line. Spencer takes the snap, gives it to Walker, trying to get to the outside. They're not going to get to it. It's going to be Cathedral Prep football.
Fantastic defense by Cathedral Prep. They got Walker running east and west there instead of north and south, and that's where we want that kid to be running the ball there, and we came up and made a great stop on him.
Couldn't get to the sticks. Maurice Walker and the Ramblers take over on downs. A huge stop here as we take a look at it on replay, Joe. You're right. Instead of running up the middle, here he goes to his left, and that's when the pursuit caught up with him.
Absolutely. And like I said, there's the Prep pursuit, and they ran down the line very well.
Lustig with a good job coming off that corner to make the tackle on the play. 1st and 10 Ramblers. They take over on downs at the 24, and now maybe they can get something going rushing the football as Damon Sanders picks up a solid 5 yards out to about the 30.
Gary, I think Mike discovered in that last series there that he gets in this I formation, he might be able to knock Woodland Hills backwards. And right now, the last 3 times he ran the ball, we've gone over 7 yards a carry. So this is great for us.
This is that 4th quarter that a lot of folks have talked about. If the Ramblers want to put something together in the 4th quarter in a close ball game, this would be the time to suck it up. And here is Sanders hit hard as he crosses the 30. And they'll probably give him his forward progress somewhere in the vicinity of the 32-yard line.
Well, once again, it's that down blocking scheme with the fullback kicking out and bringing the backside guard, and DeMond's trying to get up inside behind that play.
3rd down and 3 from the 32. Leisering in the game as a wide out to the right. Here comes Sanders up the middle. He's trying to stretch to get that first down, and it'll depend on the spot. He had to get near the 34, 35-yard line, and that's where he was trying to stretch it to that point as the officials stopped the clock with 9:15 remaining here in the 4th and final period to take a look at this one.
The timeout for a measurement.
Gary, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think we got this.
I think so.
Here is a 3rd quarter playoff score in Class A.
20-15 is the score. Hinkle has scored on a 45-yard punt return. Lustig a 5-yard TD catch. A 1-yard run by Carlson. The extra point was no good after that one, and that's why the spread is 5 at 20-15. Woodland Hills has scored. It is a first down, as you see. Cathedral Prep getting it by just enough. Good call there, Mr. Tarasovich.
Well, let's keep that running game going, keep that clock moving. Everything's in our favor right now.
9:15 remaining. Mike Mishler would like nothing more than a nice little 4 or 5 minute drive that results in a touchdown and ups that 5-point Cathedral Prep lead as we count down to the 9-minute mark. At 9 minutes, if the Ramblers can hang on, a trip to Hershey. Carlson back to throw. Fires it down the sideline. Hinkle is there, and he just can't pull it in at the 30-yard line.
Well, it was a great play. Once again, it's a fade route with Hinkle trying to use a speed running by the Woodland Hill defender. Carlson had a great delivery on the ball there. Is just a step away from completing that pass.
And it might be the fact that the wind is at his back that just let that ball float over the outstretched hands of Ed Hinkle. As it is a little breezy going from left to right across your screen here. Second down and 10, ball at the 35. Here comes Walker. And Walker kind of stutter steps his way across the 35. They'll stack him up after a short gain. And it'll be third down and a passing down for the Ramblers.
Prep ran their version of the counter tray up to the tight end side here. And once again, Woodland Hills did a great job defending it against us. So you're right, it is a third down and long and a passing situation for us here.
Third down, we'll call it about 8. 8 minutes, 25 seconds and counting. That's the time remaining until Prep, if they can hold on to this 20-15 lead, can make a trip to Hershey for the first time for an Erie team since '91 when both they and Vincent went. Carlson back to throw over the middle, nearly intercepted. It was deflected. And it's going to be fourth down and punting time. He tried to drill it to tight end Jake Lynch.
Once again, I think that was the pass earlier in the game that Woodland Hills intercepted there. The linebackers had a good drop into their coverage there and knocked the ball down on us.
Woodland Hills, although Hinkle has the wind to his back, should get a pretty good change of possession here in good field position unless Hinkle can use this wind to his advantage and boom one. 8:09 remaining. You've got...
looks like Woodland Hills coming to block this thing.
Prep blocks it well, and a good punt by Hinkle. Drives Russell back to his 30. Tries to come to his right. Cray is there, and so is Dupre, and number 40 drags him down as he crosses the 35 to the 37. But relatively good field position for Woodland Hills. 7:59 remaining. And you never know, we get down to this area of the game, Joe, 6, 7, 8 minutes remaining. You never know how many times, more times, you're going to get the football. You have to take advantage of these opportunities. Woodland Hills may have this possession, maybe one other. Who knows?
That's right. And right now, our defense is rose to the occasion a few times already this half, so let's hope they keep doing it.
Shante Spencer with the I formation behind him. That is Curtis Hall coming in motion. And here comes Maurice Walker, and Walker is free for a solid 8-yard gain across the 40, and he's out to the 44-yard line. So it's second down and short, about 2 yards, maybe 2.5 yards to go for Woodland Hills. They just can't seem to find him among all those big offensive and defensive linemen.
No, once again, that's probably a big benefit to them. Is there's little backs, behind that big line, and he cuts back very well behind them.
Shante Spencer, who has not thrown the ball well here tonight. It has mostly been Maurice Walker who's done the damage on these drives. Here's the fullback, and he's not going anywhere. Neil Broadnax rams right into the front of that line, and I think it's Charlie Rush and Jake Lynch coming off the bottom of the pile.
Looked like a fullback trap there, just maybe to keep Prep honest there, and our defense did a great job defending it.
John Sitter also in on that tackle. One thing Prep has been able to avoid to get to this point, and you really need things like this to happen for you, Joe, and that is to stay relatively injury-free to your key people. Sanders missed 6 weeks because of a broken left foot, but Jawan Walker, and everyone knows how talented of a sophomore running back he is, was able to step in and fill his role during that 6-week period.
Without about it, Walker had an exceptional year for a sophomore.
Third down and 2. Remember, they stopped Woodland Hills on a 4th and 2 earlier in this quarter. Spencer back to throw, fires, and it is caught for a first down across midfield. Number 24, Russell, is able to pull it in for a first down at the Cathedral Prep 49-yard line.
You know, Gary, the call really did surprise me also. It was a nice call, a one-on-one pattern out there, a little comeback just to the stakes to get the first down there. I would have thought Coach Novak would have run the ball there, but once again, it's a surprise play for us.
Almost the same kind of play, that 7-yard touchdown run to Jason Russell. PIAA, supposed to be clocking money. Here is straight ahead to Spencer, and he gets about a yard, maybe to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 yards to go. 5:59 remaining, so the time is becoming precious for Woodland Hills in terms of trying to overcome this 5-point deficit. The Ramblers trying to hold on and make a big stop here, because you look at the time factor, Joe. If they can stop Woodland Hills with about 4 minutes to play, 3.5 minutes to play, they can literally eat up that last part of this quarter and win this football game.
Absolutely, and we've been running the ball very well in the second half.
2nd and 10. Spencer back to throw. Now he wants to run. 45, 40, 35 is hit hard, but has the first down at the Cathedral Prep 32-yard line.
Well, Gary, that's what that athletic quarterback does for you. He delivers those big play capabilities there. Once again, that was a fake sprint out pass, and he just saw the sidelines wide open and took off.
Check it out. He gets to the corner, and that receiver on that side had just gone a fly pattern down the field. And Easter had to come up and make the tackle, which he's probably one of the better open field tacklers in the area.
Yeah, thank goodness he did come off his man to make that tackle.
At the 32-yard line, Woodland Hills back in business. Spencer to throw. Lobs it for the end zone. It is caught, and he is out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Raphael Smith pulled it in, beating Jason Easter over his shoulder and making the catch. And it's 1st and goal, Woodland Hills at the 3-yard line with 5:03 remaining.
Gary, once again, when you're going to live with the man-to-man coverage there, you might die by it also here. And once again, he just ran right by Hinkle there. He ran by Hinkle on this play.
Yes, he did. I gave it to Easter, but it was Hinkle that he got by. And he did get his 1 foot in. You only need to get 1 foot in high school and college, so it was a completed pass. And at the 3-yard line, here is Woodland Hills, first down and goal to go. Spencer takes the snap, gives it to Walker, and Walker is stacked up for about a yard loss back at the 4-yard line. Ramblers need to come up with something big here as Eric Fields made that last tackle.
Right there, once again, I'm calling it an ISO. Probably Woodland Hills is trying to run a stretch there that a lot of the colleges are running now, and once again, we've been defending that very well all game. It's been the counter tray run that's been causing us headaches here.
Second down, goal to go. Now at the 4 as Walker lost a yard on that play. High formation in the backfield. Shante Spencer turns, gives it to the running back, straight up the middle, touchdown, Woodland Hills, number 28, Curtis Hall. A 4-yard touchdown run, and with 4:21 remaining, Woodland Hills has the lead for the first time in the game, 21-20.
Gary, the best thing about them scoring that quickly on us is that now we have 4 minutes to come back and work our offense here. Once again, it's an ISO, and he cuts back across the grain there. Very strong runner. We had a couple missed tackles there that hurt us.
So Woodland Hills takes advantage of the good field position and drives it down the field, and now down or up by 1. They're going to go for 2. Spencer, end zone, incomplete, flag down. We're going to get an interference call against the Ramblers, and Woodland Hills is going to have the opportunity to try for another 2-point conversion.
Once again, Jason Easter is letting the guy cross his face and to help himself out. When the guy does cross his face, he's reaching out and grabbing him, and we had him called on a pass interference earlier in the game with that same situation.
They'll move it half the distance of the goal.
Pass interference here. Try only, try only.
And it's going to be another 2-point conversion attempt for the first time in the game. Woodland Hills has the lead following that touchdown. And Prep will have to do something about it. Let's see if they need to do something about a 1 or 3. Spencer rolling out. Does he get in? Yes, they say he did get in. A 2-point conversion by Shante Spencer, and the Woodland Hills Wolverines now lead by 3, 23-20. We'll be back in just a moment.
Remember retired religious in your parish collection.
Backed by popular demand, Rick Weaver's Sign and Drive on Pontiac's most popular cars, the 2000 Sunfire and the 2000 Grand Am. Lease a Sunfire, automatic with air, CD player, and an electric sunroof for only $229 a month, or lease a Grand Am, automatic with air, decklit spoiler, and a CD player for just $259 a month, including the tax. And that's with absolutely, positively nothing out of your pocket. Leave your checkbook at home. Just sign and drive at Rick Weaver Buick Pontiac GMC, all on the corner of 12th and Liberty.
Back here live at Spartan Stadium, and for the first time in the game, Woodland Hills has taken the lead 23-20 as they drove the ball 65 yards down the field, scoring on a 4-yard run by Curtis Hall, and then Shante Spencer a 3-yard run for the 2-point conversion. And the Ramblers will be asked to do something about it with 4 minutes remaining on the clock. The ball is down at the 35-yard line by Jawan Walker, number 2, who made a heads-up play, Joe, of coming up and grabbing that kind of knuckleball kick before it had a chance to bounce, because you never know how they're going to bounce on this artificial turf.
Absolutely, made a heads-up play. Once again, I got to thank the Woodland Hills coaching staff for their decision on kicking the ball across the field from hash to hash here. We've got great field position with a lot of time.
1st and 10 Prep at the 35-yard line. They need a field goal to tie, a touchdown to take the lead. 4 minutes and 20 seconds, all that's left on the clock in regulation. Straight ahead to the fullback, nowhere to go. As Chad Lino is unable to get anywhere.
Inside trap.
That was Damon Sanders, who was set up in that position.
Yeah, a little inside trap to him up there, lined up in the fullback position right there. Maybe trying to catch Woodland Hills off guard there, but once again, they're very strong in the middle.
If you're thinking ahead to a possible game-tying field goal, the wind is at the back of Cathedral Prep. It has picked up a bit here in the second half. 2nd down, 10 yards to go, 3:45 remaining. Here comes Sanders. He is hit hard as he hits the 36-yard line. And again, those active linebackers doing the job for Woodland Hills. 3rd down, 9 for Cathedral Prep. Look at it again, Joe.
Gary, once again, the call, you can't question it. Cathedral Prep has been gaining 6-7 yards in this play there. Woodland Hills linebackers just stepped up and made the play there, but we've been getting good yardage on that play there.
3rd and 9 at the 36-yard line. Ramblers need to get it to about the 45 to pick up a 1st down. Carlson to throw, under some pressure. Little screen to Hinkle. Has it at the 40, 45, midfield, breaks through at the 40. Cuts back towards the middle, still on his feet. And he is finally brought down at the 23-yard line. What a run by Ed Hinkle, who has done everything tonight.
Great little play there. I'm going to tell you the truth. This looks like the rocket screen that Notre Dame used to run there to the wide out here. And Hinkle just makes a terrific run on the play.
Yeah, watch as they pour in on Carlson. Gets it off just in time. Hinkle, as he goes down the field, just check out the number of tackles, especially in the last 10, 15 yards, that he's able to break.
Gary, exactly that. It's just a screen like Notre Dame used to run a few years back with Rocket Ishmael.
We've got a timeout on the field, an injury. Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back in just a moment here on Channel 35, exclusive coverage of the PIAA Western Final.
Hinkle's down.
Gentlemen, we're advertising on the internet.
Cyberspace, here we come.
JavaScript. Hyperlink. Is it gigabytes or RAM we're after?
RAM, I like that. It sounds aggressive.
RAM everything then, even the gigabytes.
It's obvious. Businesses need people who are web savvy.
Hotbot.yahoo.
Yep.
You want to show that again, Kevin? Back here live, Sanders with a short 1-yard run. Here it is as we were in our commercial break. They say he the turf caused the fumble, and it did, as the Wolverines thought they might have had a break. Here we go now, 2nd and 10. Sanders inside the 20, diving forward to the 17-yard line. We're down to 2:15 remaining in the game. The Ramblers need a field goal to tie. They need a touchdown to take the lead. And they are going to have 3rd down, Joe, and probably about 5 yards to go in the vicinity of the 17-yard line.
Yeah, the last one was an ISO to the 2-count side there. Damon did a nice job picking up some key yardage on that play.
Down to 1:50 remaining as the clock continues to wind. 3rd down and 4. Lustig out of the right. Here comes Hinkle in motion. Carlson wants to throw, some back-high pressure. Looks to throw, fires for the end zone. It is caught, and it is a touchdown for Cathedral Prep. The Ramblers score with 1:35 remaining.
Gary, what can you say? That's that senior leadership by Eric Carlson to take him down the field. Scored a touchdown there. It's just a fantastic play by Ed Hinkle again.
It was in the corner of the end zone, and the only question was, did he get inbounds and make the catch? And Carlson with a bullet, as you see. Hinkle with the catch right on the sideline. A good one for the touchdown. Here's another look at it. Beautiful work. He was clearly in bounds and got over the goal line and into the end zone for the touchdown. It's 26-23. A big extra point here. Jason Dolak boots it. It's good. Ramblers by 4. We're back with a final 1:35 in just a moment as our exclusive coverage of the PIAA continues.
Gentlemen, we're advertising on the internet.
Cyberspace, here we come.
JavaScript. Hyperlink. Is it gigabytes of RAM we're after?
Ram, I like that. It sounds aggressive.
RAM everything then, even the gigabytes.
It's obvious. Businesses need people who are web savvy.
Hotbot.yahoo.
Yep, they need you. Visit us or call.
Hurry, we have no idea what we're talking about.
Tri-State Business Institute is offering degree programs in information technology.
A AAA membership is the gift that shows you care all year long. They can use it to save money on family fun with AAA's Disney World discounts. And they'll thank you if they ever need a AAA tow truck. With the AAA membership, you're also giving triptychs, no-fee traveler's checks, instant car registration and title work, affordable insurance, and a full-service travel agency. And AAA will give you $10 off every basic membership. Show you care all year long. Bring your gift list to AAA today.
What a game here tonight, Joe Tarasovich. We have had a dandy. Cathedral Prep saw their lead evaporate for the first time with under 5 minutes to play, but they have bolted down the field, and a 17-yard Carlson to Hinkle touchdown pass has recaptured the lead for them, 27-23. A minute and a half remaining. As Russell trying to run it out, runs it over the 30. And they pile on him at the 35-yard line. So Woodland Hills has a minute 27 remaining to try to do something about the Ramblers' 27-23 lead. And everyone talked about Cathedral Prep not being tested, not having to make a big drive late in a game. Well, they were here in the Western Finals, and they came through with flying colors. I was so impressed with the 3rd down call to Ed Hinkle on the little screen pass that was the big play of that drive.
Great call by Mike Mishra. He gets the ball in the hand of a great athlete who can make a play, and that's what Ed Hinkle did there. They've shown a lot of character this half.
Spencer back to throw, fires down the middle, has a man at midfield down to the 47-yard line.
There we had a face mask on that,
That's Maurice Walker, and a flag is thrown late, and I think you're right, Joe. A face mask penalty is going to give Woodland Hills some extra yardage tacked onto this one, and it's not over yet. A minute 20 remaining. Take a look at it again as the officials decide where to mark the football. Good throw this time by Spencer. The little guy, Maurice Walker.
Now Prep's getting into
it. We can pick up the face mask. Right there it is.
Not
really. Kind of had the sign of his helmet more than his face mask. But it was called a face mask penalty. Josh Lustig.
Defense 15.
Cathedral Prep's now playing a zone, Gary. They got out of their man-to-man and playing a little bit of prevent back there.
Back at they mark it at the 33-yard line, tacking on 15 extra yards to the end of that play for that face mask penalty. Spencer to throw, looking, just heaves it up down the field. Nobody was open, and simply threw that one away. It stops the clock with 1:08 remaining. The Ramblers lead 23, I should say. And that's an important point, that the Ramblers lead by 4, because a field goal by Woodland Hills, and they would be kicking into a win, would not tie it. They lead by 4. Woodland Hills needs a touchdown. 1:08, 68 seconds, all that remains between a Rambler trip to Hershey next Saturday against perhaps Central Bucks West in the state championship game. Shante Spencer under center, takes the snap. Here comes Maurice Walker, who is leveled by Jake Lynch, number 9, who put a pop on the little 5'7" running back and sent him flying to the turf. Clock continues to roll, 55 seconds, 52, 51. Now they mark it down. The clock continues to roll, 48. Woodland Hills taking lots of time here as Shante Spencer calls the play at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down and 9. He only got a yard out of it. Spencer back to throw, wants it all for the end zone. It is batted away, incomplete. Double coverage back there for the Ramblers. Devon Sanders. Number 1 is Morgan, 13 is Lustig.
Very great play by our defensive backs. They're not letting these guys behind us and making sure they're knocking the ball down.
Lustig is right there, and Sanders is right behind him. And look at Damon get up in the air, and a good job of putting it off the fingertips. 3rd down and 8. The incomplete pass stops the clock, 34 seconds remaining. Ramblers, who led all of this game until 4.5 minutes were remaining, fell behind, then drove down the field and scored to take the lead again. They lead at 27-23. Here's Spencer to throw. Goes for the end zone. It's up there, and it is pulled in, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, he was out of bounds. We dodged a bullet. It looked like that Smith came down with the football. Raphael Smith came down with the football. There was a flag back at the line of scrimmage as well. But the question is whether or not he caught it or whether or not he kept it in bounds. And the penalty is declined. And that is going to do it. The Ramblers take over, 27 seconds remaining, and they are 27 seconds away now from heading to Hershey. But that was so close in the corner of that end zone. I don't know whether Smith caught the ball and was out of bounds. It looked to me like he had it, and the referee was simply signaling it hit the ground. Right. But there's the situation, and all that's left between the Ramblers and a trip to Hershey, as they were unable to convert on that play, and it is 1st down. Now, I thought it was 3rd down, and I think
that's what I think George Novak's asking about.
Right, because of the Woodland Hills is going to call a timeout, so why don't we take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Wait, don't buy that new car. If you're considering a Honda, Nissan, Toyota, or Mazda, don't make that decision until you come to Contemporary Motor Car. You need to see and drive an Acura. Performance, luxury, and affordable prices that will amaze you. This '99 Integra LS at just $19,435, or choose this 2000 Acura TL at just $28,855. Don't settle for less. Acura from Contemporary Motor Car.
All right, we are live. George Novak did question the fact that the proper down was there. Just a coaching trick, I believe, Joe Tarasovic. Made him think about it. They made him reset the chains. But it was 4th down, a running play in which the guy was hit hard at the line of scrimmage. And then a couple of incomplete passes before that last pass of the end zone. Carlson takes the knee. Woodland Hills and the Ramblers of Cathedral Prep, they will count down the seconds together. But for the Cathedral Prep Ramblers, it is a trip to Hershey. They have finally broken the WPIAL jinx. The Ramblers, you see, starting the celebration for the first time since 1991. They will be heading to Hershey Park Arena next Saturday, and a chance at Central Bucks West at a possible PIAA Quad A state championship. Congratulations to the Ramblers. You see the bedlam on the field, the students, the fans, and a dejected Woodland Hills squad as the Ramblers coming from behind. You know, Joe, they tested it and they talked about it, and they said this Cathedral Prep team, the one thing that has not been able to do is to be able to win a game in the fourth quarter when they needed to do. Well, they picked a great time to prove to everybody that they can do it.
Congratulations to Coach Mishler and Cathedral Prep. Like you said, Gary, they showed a lot of character out here today, their defense and their offense. What a great come-from-behind win.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take a 2-minute break. I'm going to try to get down onto the field, and we've got some post-game show activity coming up for you in just a moment. We'll try to talk to head coach Mike Mishler and company in just a moment. We'll be right back here, live and exclusive coverage of the PIAA Western Final. The Ramblers are headed to the state championship game, 27-23.
More than half of all workers have never calculated the amount they will need to save and accumulate for retirement. Hi, I'm Graham Parsons. Considering that most people will spend a quarter or more of their life in retirement, this procrastination can have disastrous effects later in life. For assistance with your retirement planning or investment management needs, please call me at 459-7071 or visit my website at lpl.com/Graham.Parsons.
Where are we? It appears we have crash landed on the planet Satalundamak. Give me that. Check it out.
Right now, get McDonald's 6-piece Golden Chicken McNuggets for just 99 cents. It's a Disney and Pixar Toy Story 2 celebration.
Let's get going.
6-piece Chicken McNuggets are just 99 cents, but you better hurry. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Wait for me.
Why do echoes carry so well? Because they're designed from the inside out.
Do you feel like another number in the employment process? Are you searching for that perfect job but don't know where to look or what's available? If you have the skills but not the contacts, let us shed some light. At All Seasons Placement, you'll receive a personal interview with our friendly staff who already know what jobs are available and have already established the contacts you need. And you never pay a fee. Come find the job you're looking for.
All Seasons Placement.
Back here live, pretty excited down on the field. The Ramblers coming back with a 27-23. You get down late, Joe Dupre, and what was being said on the sidelines with under 5 minutes to play?
Everything was positive, trying to get the ball in the end zone. We knew we had the power to get there. You know, Ed Hinkle and Damon Sanders and Eric Carlson throwing the ball. We knew we could get it down there. Josh Lexington also. This has been great.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there was always a lot of talk about the number of blowouts you guys had this year. You weren't tested when you needed to be in the fourth quarter. I guess you proved everybody wrong tonight, huh?
Yeah, we had a couple letdowns on defense, but our offense stepped it up and we slacked, and we were so happy. I can't tell you.
All right, you look a little excited. Thanks, Joe. Congratulations. Let's bring some other players over here. Come on over here, Jason Easter. They were on you guys all night. They tried to throw the ball up on top of those fly patterns. You had them covered pretty well.
Yeah, they're a great team. They had a lot of speed, and I'm so great that our secondary stuck in there and fought the way they fought. The team got a lot of heart that nobody thought they had, and I think we're in a lot of respect now.
Yeah, you guys, you're one of the best open field tackles, and that was the thing they tried to hit those corners on you guys. I mean, you kind of knew that. Did you know they were maybe going to go your way occasionally?
Yeah, I thought they would come at me a lot, and I'm just glad that we all stayed in position and took what they came at us with.
All right, thank you very much. Nice. Damon Sanders, let's bring Damon Sanders over here, Josh. Well, come on over here. We'll. Congratulations, tremendous. What's being said in the huddle, Carlson? You guys needing to drive down. Only time of the year that you were behind in the fourth quarter. There's only a couple of minutes left. What's being said in the huddle?
You know, I think, it's hard to explain. Everyone, we bust our balls all game,
And, it came down last play, and we knew we had it, We knew, we were down, but no one gave up. And, we've been working all year, no one was giving up, practices, games, whatever. Everyone gives full throttle, and, we did the job.
Well, what a tremendous opportunity to go to Hershey. You guys were there last year to Newcastle, against Newcastle, lose that game. I guess you didn't want to let it slip away this time.
No, last year we were, the underdogs. We weren't even expected to get, maybe even the Metro, and we got all there. So I don't think, maybe we weren't as hype as we should have been. Today we knew we were the team, and we knew we had to do the job.
All right, Josh, congratulations. Nice job. Let's get Damon Sanders over here. You've been tremendous. They shut down you guys' running game today, but you got to go in a little bit in the fourth quarter, and that certainly helped, didn't it?
Yeah, we knew that we couldn't stop. We knew we had to keep working. They're a very good team. We had them up most of the game, but they came back at the end. They got to score on us. They went up by 5 points, and we knew we had to get it on the board and get the win.
What's being said in the huddle? What's being said on the sidelines? You guys had never been in that position this year. Things have been pretty easy for you guys going into the second half. Now all of a sudden you're faced with some adversity. You came through with flying colors. What was said among some of the captains and some of the leaders of this team?
Yeah, well, I got in the huddle. I was like, guys, we got to make it. I was like, I know we can beat this team. They're a very good team, though. We knew we had to keep working hard. But we finally Hinkle got the pass, and he took it all the way down for us, and then we got the touchdown. So I just thank God for giving this win to us.
All right, Damon, congratulations. We'll see you in Hershey next week. The Ramblers are headed there. We'll be back in just a moment with more post-game live here from Spartan Stadium. The Ramblers headed to the state championship game after a 27-23 win.
If you want a truck, van, or sport utility you can count on for work or play, you want a GMC from McQuillan in Girard. A GMC Jimmy can take you almost anywhere, in any weather, or step up to the Yukon. Everything you could want on 4 wheels and more. The full-size Sierra pickup has the power, strength, and refinement that could only come from GMC. And the Safari is what every van wants to be, bigger and stronger. The more you know, the more you'll want a GMC from McQuillan in Girard.
I used to think just because a bank was a great big bank, well, it was a better bank. But know what? I found a bank that changed my mind.
Marquette Savings Bank.
Now I've got a bank that knows me by name. I have a friendlier bank. A bank that gives me the personal care my big out-of-town bank had gotten too big to offer. Best of all, got it right here at home.
Marquette Savings Bank, your hometown bank with the hometown touch. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
And now it's time to get the Auto Express Hunters Update with your host, Hunter Joe and Rudolph.
Welcome. Say, Rudolph, let's take a look at some of these tough Auto Express 4x4s. There's a nice one. Bet we can get your whole family in that one, huh? Let's take a peek at this week's Auto Express hunting tip.
Remember, hunters, don't tie your game to the roof of your truck. It makes fellow hunters jealous, and it isn't very funny either. This hunting tip is brought to you by Auto Express.
From bobbins to cabinets, Yaples Sewing Center will help your creations bloom. Dedicated salespeople will demonstrate the new one-touch Husqvarna Viking Rose. Yaples people will give you direction so you can sew like a pro. Even quilt and do complex embroidery. And you'll be pleasantly surprised at how little it takes to own a Husqvarna Viking Rose from Yaples.
Yaples Vacuum and Sewing Center, 'cause our business is picking up.
Mike, big drive late in the game. 3rd and 9, the screen pass to Ed Hinkle. Tell me about that call.
Well, he just made Carlson made a great pass on it. We've been waiting to call that play all year. We've had it in our package. That and a couple other things we just didn't get a chance to call all year. And, you couldn't have asked for better timing. And, And when I sent it in, I just was hoping for the best. And I mean, gosh, that was the I don't know. I'm so happy right now. I can't tell you.
I mean, considering the big scores you guys have had, asked to do this, something like this, you really didn't know whether they could do it this year. They've never been asked to do this, but to come through like they did, unbelievable.
Well, I'm going to give you a commercial here, but these prep kids and this school and everything that we're about, I mean, I just have so much love for these guys, and they're such good kids, and I'm so proud of them and this school and this community in Erie, Pennsylvania. I mean, this puts Erie back on the map, and I'm just so happy for for us, and finally the District 10 got through, and I mean, that goes to a lot of the other schools, who, McDowell and Central and those guys who fought hard over the last couple of years, and hopefully they're enjoying a little bit of what we're doing today as well.
All right, Mike, congratulations. We'll see you in Hershey. Thank you, my friend. Joe, nice job as always as the Ramblers come behind. Late touchdown to win 27-23. We're going to wrap it up on Sports Watch tonight. We'll have more here from the game, including some more post-game interviews. The Ramblers coming from behind in dramatic fashion. Couldn't have asked for a better game, Joe.
They showed a ton of character, and Erie should be very proud of them.
All right, that wraps it up here for Joe Tarasovich and our entire crew. We thank them, and we thank Hempfield High School as well. Good night, everyone. From Hempfield High, again, the Ramblers are headed to the state championship game, coming from behind to win 27-23.
Here's what's coming up on Newswatch.